You ever watch a team make choices that, on the surface, look like small bookkeeping decisions, and then realize those little choices quietly rewrite a rookie's timetable and a city's expectation? That's where we are with Cleveland today. Deshaun Watson's comeback just hit another pause. Coach Kevin Stefanski confirmed the Browns will not open Watson's 21-day practice window this week, which, simply put, means Watson's return to on-field work is still on hold while he rehabs from a twice-repaired right Achilles. Newsweek. Let that sink in for a second. Watson's injury history this year isn't a single bad play. It's 2 surgeries and a rehab arc that's being treated very cautiously. Opening the window forces a decision. Once Watson starts practicing, the Browns have 21 days to either activate him to the roster or shut the window and push him back on IR for the season. By delaying that choice, the team keeps its options open, and that posture tells you 2 things at once. They're protecting Watson's long-term health, and they're not ready yet to let that big contract's timeline dictate short-term football decisions. NBC Sports says Inglay. The practical ripple of that pause lands squarely on 2 young quarterbacks, Dillon Gabriel, who's been starting, and Shedeur Sanders, who's been waiting in the wings. Gabriel's stat line through Week 10 looks modest, about 869 passing yards and 7 touchdowns, enough to justify some confidence, not enough to silence the noise. ESPN.com, but here's the emotional currency. Shedeur Sanders' presence in Cleveland changes the fan conversation. He's young, hyped, and carries a last name that draws attention. He hasn't thrown a regular season snap yet, and yet social feeds and local talk radio have spent weeks imagining what he'd do in live game conditions. The decision to keep Watson's window closed keeps that scenario on simmer. Gabriel stays the starter for now, and Shedeur's when remains a question, not a schedule. Heavy sports. So what matters for the Browns right now? 3 things: roster clarity, medical prudence, and development design. First, roster clarity. If you're Cleveland's front office, you have 3 quarterbacks with different values and risk profiles. Watson, big contract, high ceiling, injury risk. Gabriel, rookie starter with steady traits. And Shedeur, rookie upside untested. Not opening Watson's window preserves flexibility. You don't have to choose Watson now and short-circuit evaluation of the other 2. That's smart from a managerial view. But it also prolongs uncertainty, and uncertainty is noisy. Fans want a hero. The locker room wants certainty, and coaches want to teach a single rhythm. One foot in front of the other becomes harder when the QB spot is a moving target. Yahoo Thethau second, medical prudence. Achilles rehab is tricky. Teams that push timelines risk re-injury. Teams that wait sometimes lose wins while they hope for a stronger long-term outcome. The Browns clearly opted for caution here. Not heroic, not dramatic, just pragmatic. If Watson's Achilles isn't ready for on-field workload, rushing him back would be a mistake. From the club's perspective, they're guarding a massive investment and a player's future livelihood. From the fans' perspective, it looks like delay. Both reactions are defensible. Newsweek third, development design. This is where coaching earns its keep. If the Browns genuinely see Gabriel as the present answer and Shedeur as the developmental future, then the team must design a plan that accelerates learning for both. For Gabriel, that means quick release reads, max protect packages, and scaffolded game plans that emphasize rhythm and manageable reads. For Shedeur, it means controlled reps in live periods and perhaps curated game moments where the pressure is limited but the evaluation is real. The alternative is chaos, flipping quarterbacks because the crowd demands it, and then wondering why neither QB progresses. Cleveland Browns. Let's be real about consequences. If Gabriel stalls and the Browns keep waiting for Watson to be ready, the "we should have played Shedeur sooner" narrative will sharpen into a critique the front office can't easily shake. But flipping QBs too early for social media theater risks burning a rookie before he can learn. The team's choice to delay Watson's window as effectively will manage the timeline. We need the next few weeks of evaluation. That's defensible strategy, but it demands follow-through in coaching and communication. Now, what should Browns fans expect in the next week? Game day against the Ravens is coming up, a tough matchup that will stress protection and rhythm for any young quarterback. Expect Cleveland to lean into conservative concepts that protect the passer and tilt toward the run game to keep the defense honest. Expect Stefanski to say the usual coaching things: trust the process, we'll evaluate, we'll do what's right. But privately, coaching staff will be watching split snaps, third down efficiency, pocket presence, the small data points that reveal whether Gabriel can be the long-term bridge or whether Shedeur needs to be fast-tracked. Cleveland Browns, if you're Shedeur Sanders, this is the maddening half of being a rookie in a loaded situation. You're close enough to taste opportunity, but far enough to be patient. The best path for him, if you ask any coach worth his salt, is to keep grinding. Learn protections, master the check with me throws, absorb the cadence, and be ready when the phone rings. The Browns' medical and roster choices don't remove his chance. They simply reshape when and how that chance arrives. Dogs by nature, and if you're a Browns executive, use this breathing room productively. Make the protection better. Invest in play calls that reduce sack risk and create easy completions. Give receivers clear roles so reads aren't puzzles. Rotate packages so that whoever starts has a system built around their strengths. The worst thing you can do with time is waste it. The best thing is to turn time into progress. 2 final thoughts before I go. 1, this moment exposes a truth about modern NFL teams. They juggle medical reality, contractual obligation, and competitive urgency all at once. Rarely does a decision satisfy everyone. 2, outcomes will settle opinions. If Watson returns healthy and leads a late surge, the wait will feel wise. If the team finds traction with Gabriel or Shedeur and Watson struggles to regain form, the decision to delay the window will be judged differently. That's the sport in miniature. Uncertainty now, verdicts later. So watch the next few games like a clinician. Look for tiny improvements: cleaner pocket mechanics, fewer negative plays, clearer progress in reads. Ignore the Twitter storm that wants instant drama. The Browns have chosen patience with Watson today. Whether that patience is vindicated depends on how the team converts time into actual development. Short version: Watson's still months away, Gabriel gets the keys for now, Shedeur still waits, and the Browns have to turn the pause into progress, or the city's patience will run out faster than a practice window. You can hear the noise before you hear the score. The social feeds, the takes, the impossible drumbeat asking the same question: who's going to take the reins in Cleveland? This week, the Browns gave us 2 answers that don't feel like answers at all. They're keeping Dillon Gabriel in the saddle for now, and they aren't opening Deshaun Watson's 21-day practice window. Translation: the short-term plan is still rookie first, but the long-term picture is messy and full of trade-offs. Start with Gabriel. He started the Week 10 loss to the Jets, finished 17 of 32 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns, and took 6 sacks. The scoreboard says 27-20, and the stat line says decent but not convincing. The team put his name up for NFL Rookie of the Week on Tuesday, which is a nice nod. It's recognition, not vindication. Coach Kevin Stefanski's post-game take was simple and stubborn: we're going to stick with Dillon. That line matters because it's the coaching staff committing to a process. And processes are what organizations use when they want to weigh development over panic. Now, the Watson part. The Browns confirmed they will not be opening Deshaun Watson's 21-day practice window this week. That window is the team's tool for bringing a player off the PUP IR list and either activating him